Good evening, everybody. How is everyone? Hi, Daz. Daz is still awake. Oh my goodness. I have got to clean my screen here, I think. There we go. And Donna's here. Hi, Donna. Donna has been, that is not a good light. There we go. Donna has been in the middle of a heat wave. Hope you're keeping cool, Donna. All right. We'll wait for a couple more people to come in here. But Donna, remind me where you're at. I know that there's been so many different heat waves across the States and Canada, and man, we're having it too. We had our big heat last week, and we had 45-degree temperatures, and it was really hard to stay cool. Really, really hard. Lisa's in the house.
I was just texting you. I'm here.
Oh, I was just saying hi to everybody. I had chatted with Donna briefly on Instagram, just moments kind of before going live, and she had been saying how she's hot. She's in a heat wave. She's in South Carolina. So
Yeah.
trying to keep cool. Josh, hi Josh. Josh is here. Creekside Maples. Creekside Maples is a new to me friend. I think, do you know Creekside Maples, Lisa?
Yes, I do.
They're new to me. I quite enjoy you guys, Creekside Maples.
I can't wait to watch their chicken plucker video.
Chicken plucker video. I watched that. He's so creative. He did a really good job. I won't spoil anything, but
yeah,
really good job. Yeah.
Super
Anyone
cool.
else want to come on with us? I'll send you the link. I am so new to this, but I think it's so fun to be able to chat if you want to. So putting the
Donna
link
Alford.
in now. There we go. And Miha's Sanctuary Farm is here. Hi, Miha's. Are you guys staying cool? You guys are in the thick of the heat too. Yeah, you betcha. So I went to get a drink before coming on this live, and we have bottled water in a cooler, which is a new to us thing because usually we just had like a pump on a water bottle, very primitive. And there's a spider in there in the water bottle. And it's like, what do? You can't take it off because it's like 3/4 full. You can't just. So every time we drink, we're watching for the spider. So gross. Hey, Drops Family Garden. Drops Family Garden's another new friend of mine who I also am enjoying. You know Drops Family Garden?
Yes, I do. They're awesome.
I'm behind the times.
No, you're not.
I'm behind. I've just become acquainted with some of these people. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, Donna, just hang out as long as you can. Miha's air is on for sure. Oh, Creekside Maples is having some browser issues. Your daughter still makes you cull spiders. Oh.
I'm okay with spiders. I can't deal with, like, tarantulas I wouldn't be okay with, but spiders don't bother me. But snakes, I'm like, yeah, no need.
Yeah, yeah. We used to get all those little, like, tiny, like, not even dime size. Well, I guess they're dime size, like on the roof and stuff, and they used to freak me out as a kid. And now, but I don't love the bigger ones, like not even tarantula, but just like anything over like $1 piece. No thanks.
Yeah, when we lived in North Carolina, they had wolf spiders, and they looked huge, right? Like this, above the doorway, and they jump. And I remember I came home from work late one night, and I told Ryan, I was like, "Yeah, you need to open the door." Because when you cull them, they look tiny.
So gross. So gross. North Carolina, we had, I forget if it was my oldest son or my middle son, we had a little stroller and there was a spider on there. And Daniel said, this is the weirdest spider I've ever seen. It has all these like dots or it's like fuzzy. And I come out and he like bumped the stroller and all the babies.
Oh.
When just like, I mean, I'm sure it wasn't millions of them, but like thousands of them. It was disgusting. It was so gross.
I have a similar snake story, but I'll share it for another.
Share it now. Share it now.
Nah, I don't know if it's appropriate.
Okay. We don't want inappropriate on this channel.
No.
All right, what do we have here? Oh, I look like your sister-in-law. Really? I hope you like her. Wouldn't that be awful? Like, you look like my sister-in-law. Yeah. No, thank you. I hope. Yeah, you remind me of my mother-in-law. No, that's a. Over in Georgia, we had great big green spiders that were 3 inches long, harmless but gross. Green spiders. I don't know that I've seen a green spider.
Okay, Drops Family Garden just said used a hoe on a cottonmouth in Georgia. It came right at me. Maybe my story's not inappropriate.
I'm sure. What? Because it involves like some violence against the snake?
It does.
I mean, I'm sure we're all adults here.
Well, let's just say this, and I won't be gruesome. Let's just say this. We had a snake, a water snake that would come up from the creek by our house in Connecticut, and it would sun itself on the rock wall. And when my son was younger, he would play over there, and the snake was always there, and I was always afraid he was going to get bit. So Ryan sets me up with this large rock to drop on it, basically, because by the time he got home from work, it wasn't there. Well, when I dropped it, the babies all went out, and then I felt horrible and couldn't sleep for days.
The baby snakes?
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah, and in the meanwhile, I was just trying to make it safer for my kid because he was younger. He was about 8, so just trying to make it safer. Hey, Daz.
Gross. Hey, Daz.
What's up? G'day.
How do I make us all equal on the screen?
Look on the bottom, and it'll show you the different profiles. There you go. You got it. That's perfect.
There we go. That's the one I wanted.
Oh,
what you up to, Daz? Are you sleepy or what?
Haven't been to bed yet. So
what time is it?
6 past 11 a.m. Monday. Yeah. So all-nighter. Yeah.
Daz,
did you do it? I think you're famous in our group for being up very late or up early.
Yeah. It's a long story. It's medical type issues.
Yeah. All good.
Totally get it.
So, I catch up. Trust me, later on I'll just crash and I'll be good. And you'll see me again at 3 o'clock in the morning, my time or whatever.
On our next live tomorrow. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, everybody's saying hi to you, Daz. Cottonmouth.
Oh, Josh is here.
30 seconds. Josh is here. Mama V is here. Good evening, Mama V. How are you?
V.
Lots of good people in here tonight.
Thank you, Donna. Creekside, sweet.
Yeah, Creekside's
Sorry
here.
to cut you off.
No, don't be. We have a lot of good people in here tonight.
Awesome people.
Yeah.
Drops. Yep.
Well, I was sharing this. Lisa knows quite a bit about this, and I won't go into detail specifically, but I discovered recently that I have an anxiety problem to the point where it was starting to affect my ability to work. And it's not that I was feeling anxious. I didn't actually realize I had a problem because I wasn't feeling overtly anxious, but I found myself being very irritable, very impatient, and that's not me. And so anyway, long story short, I struggled with it for a long time. And Lisa knows kind of some of the ins and outs of it. But recently I got on medication. And, I just realized that it's nothing to be ashamed of. I'm not trying to hide anything. I'm not trying to advertise it either. But I got on some medication, and the first night or two, could not sleep a wink. And I usually have no problem sleeping, but that medicine kept me up, let me tell you what. And by the third day, I was so exhausted, and now I'm back on track, thank goodness. But whew, it's the struggle is real.
Yeah. It is real. No shame in talking about it either, because that's the problem is, obviously I'm addictions and mental health counselor, but they talk about in addictions is secrets keep you sick, and they do. And that's the thing, because people often feel so alone in how they're feeling that they don't say anything, and I mean, I have no problem saying I take medication for depression, and Ryan struggles with anxiety. So we totally get it. And it's sadly, it's completely normal nowadays, right? Because we live lives that are just so hectic and fast paced, and the struggle's real.
Yeah. I think I thought I had it all together because I work a high octane job. I have 3 boys, which are energetic. I run the homestead. We have a lot of animals. And I thrive at high capacity. That's where I do my best. And so to recognize that anything less than that was kind of like not okay with me, And where it got me is normally I always said before I even became a parent that I wanted to be laid back and patient. And I would see people around me, my friends, who would get uptight with their kids over little things. And I'm not saying that there's not times, because that's not what I'm saying. But I said, I just hope that I can enjoy my kids, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, just roll with the punches and be able to enjoy them. And I do, and I did. And then I noticed myself really not even being able to be around them, because every little thing was setting me off and making me angry. And I'm not an angry person, and making me irritable and making me and worrying about everything. Like one of the neighbors brought up a concern about one of my cows, and it really wasn't a big deal. This neighbor has kind of a lot to say about a lot of things. And this too shall pass, but I couldn't let it go in my mind. And to the point where I'm saying to my husband, like, well, maybe I should talk to them about the cows and we should settle this. And Daniel's like, it's over, let it go. And just things that ruminate in your mind, and you have no control over it. So anyhow, this isn't meant to necessarily talk about that, but just, we all have a lot on our plate. I know every single one of us in this chat do. We all have our high points and we all have our low points, and it's really cool that we're all in this community where we can support each other. And yeah. I gotta catch up on comments here too. What's that, Lisa?
No, it's very true. I was agreeing with you.
Yeah. Josh says new meds suck, waiting for them to take effect. Yeah, it's kind of hard to onboard them. Yeah.
It's funny.
Takes no medication. That's great.
Not funny, but what you're saying, I relate to you so much with my situation. Sorry, I got a frog on my throat. Excuse me, everybody. Sorry. I was such a high achiever. Back when I did my photography, I was shooting weddings and stuff, and the pressure to not mess up somebody's wedding was so strong, but I thrived. I loved it and everything. But in the end, when everything got to me and I had some trauma and stuff that triggered me, it was like you said, it was the little things would set me off. And oh man, the best thing I ever did was go to a doctor and say, I think I might need some help here. And yeah, and I really want people out there to just speak up and share it with other people, or if they can't, go to a doctor and confide in a doctor and move on from there, because I can guarantee you I wouldn't be here if I hadn't taken the step. It got pretty bad. And YouTube, far out. I can't believe YouTube has brought me out of my shell. And anyway, this is not about me, sorry, but
no, it is.
yeah,
Keep going.
getting like what you're talking about is I would never in all my life expected to be talking to people on YouTube or making friends on YouTube and everything. It was just YouTubers for cat videos and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, it's like I watch my kids watch a million Minecraft videos and stuff like that. That was YouTube to me. And now here I am sitting here talking to a bunch of people that I do consider friends, and there's people in the chat there that I consider friends, and
yeah,
it's crazy. Like, I've only been doing this since the end of March, and for people that don't know, one of my conditions is agoraphobia. So I've not left my house for 3 years. I lost my job and everything because of it. And now all of a sudden I started this YouTube thing in the end of March, April, and like I said, I'm now sitting here looking at a webcam talking to people, which is crazy. Hey, Ryan.
Oh,
Dad,
that's so cool. Wow.
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
So, it's crazy.
You're not alone. Just know that.
Well, and I think everyone on this chat can agree that you have been such a support for all of us. You know, you are so cool in your own right anyway, you know, and then B, just such a bright spot, you know, and it's kind of funny when I'll post a video, you know, and I'll be editing it and different things, and you always kind of know that there'll be a couple people who no matter what are going to show you love, and you're kind of one of those people, and you're a really good friend to all of us, so I think we all appreciate you.
Yeah,
very much. I couldn't say it enough, Daz. I really wish that you were in my backyard and we could hang out, because you're an amazing guy.
Yeah, and cook for us, Daz.
Yeah.
Your food is amazing. We've had some people come in, so I just want to say hi to Kitchen Garden Therapy. I want to say hi to Grandpa's Lake House Homestead, and I think then we're all caught up. But hi, you guys.
Hi, Slava.
And it seems like a lot of people on the chat here are kind of, you know, feel us too. You know, it's interesting. Somebody said something. I just want to scroll up here to read the actual comment. So Creekside Maples, we survived an F5 tornado, almost lost both our daughters in 2011, health issues. Best thing I did was get help, and all is well. PTSD is horrible. Anxiety is no fun. You know, again, not meaning to turn this into a mental health talk, but yeah, PTSD, I think, so I really appreciate that somebody else on this group has PTSD. I do as well. In 2003, I was living overseas, kind of close to Daz, actually, in a little tiny island called Palau, between Guam and the Philippines. And while I was there, in the middle of the night, one night, a guy broke in and he tried to rape and kill me. And I have obviously struggled with that for obvious reasons, but then the fact that it happened at night when I was sleeping, so I won't get into the details, but I'd kind of heard some rustling around downstairs. We lived in an apartment compound. It was, I guess, 3 stories, the bottom story and then the middle, and I was on the top. And I had a couple of roommates, and one of whom had Crohn's disease, and she was having a flare. And I had been up with her for moral support, and she would use the restroom a lot. I'm not sure how many people are familiar with Crohn's disease, but you have a lot of GI bleeding and pain and such. And so I had been staying up with her, and I had left my door open a crack, and the light had been on. And I heard some scuffling downstairs, but the guy that lived down below us, he used to go outside on the veranda at like sunrise, and he would have a devotional out there. And there was like this rickety old lazy boy recliner down there that he would kind of move around to wherever he wanted it, and he would have his devotional. And so I heard this kind of, not commotion, but just kind of gentle movement. And you kind of think to yourself, oh, Sal's up, it must be around 5 o'clock in the morning, and you roll over and go to sleep. And because you don't have to be up till 7, and I'm a stomach or side sleeper. I never ever sleep on my back, ever. And I rolled over to my back, and I dozed back to sleep. And I remember that the light was still on, and the door was still open, and everything was kind of how it should be. So I kind of dozed back to sleep. And at some point in time, I woke back up, and it was all dark. And of course, you're sleeping, and I do wear glasses, which were, of course, not on. And when you're sleeping and you wake up and something's different, but you can't quite put your finger on it, and it was dark, and I kind of, well, this something seems different, but who knows, and it's dark, and oh, there's someone in my room. Oh, well, that must be Tiff getting who knows what. I don't know why she'd be in my room, but your mind rationalizes it to something reasonable, right? Like, oh, that must be Tiff, and well, that's not Tiff, that's a guy. Well, we did have some male friends within the compound, neighbors and such. And of course, you're sleeping, right? So why should any of them be in your compound either, let alone your room? But, you rationalize like, oh, it's, one of the guys. And then you look, and keep in mind, I don't have my glasses on. And then you're like, no, that's not a body stature of anybody that I recognize. So then you realize, okay, there's a burglar in my room, and I'm on my back, and I think, oh, how handy is that? He doesn't know I'm awake. So I'm just going to lay here really still. He's obviously been here for some time, because he wasn't rummaging through my stuff, but he was just kind of there, and it was clear that he was quite comfortable there. You know what I mean? So I'm watching him, and I'm thinking, oh, my camcorder's over there, my laptop's over here, I have a stereo here, he'll take that and he'll go. And I'm kind of watching him out of the, you're kind of like keeping your eyes closed, because you want him to still think you're sleeping, but you're kind of watching him a little bit. Well, he's not taking anything, so what's this guy doing? You're thinking to yourself. And then you're like, oh my, he's really not doing anything in this room. He's just kind of standing there. So then your mind is going, okay, is this how it's going to be? But I'm on my back. So he comes over to the bed, and I close my eyes, and he sits down on the edge of the bed. He just sits there for a long time. And then I kind of know where this is going to go, right? So I'm not going to give any details, but just, so he put his hand over my mouth, and he didn't know I was awake though. So I I flung my arm up, and I caught him in the crook of his elbow, and I flung him off the bed, and I started screaming, because I have roommates. So I'm like, well, someone will hear me. So I'm screaming, somebody help me, and he doesn't go anywhere. He just stays on the bed. And then I'm like, all right, he's well, this is kind of graphic. He's killed everybody. I'm the last survivor, I think to myself. So I'm still screaming. And then I decided, and then all these thoughts go in your head. Like, you hear stories on the news of people who have had this happen to them. And I said to myself, like, wow, so this is what those people felt like, this is what it feels like. And you're like, all right, well, so this is going to happen, and I might not live through it, or maybe I will, or whatever. But I made a conscious decision right then and there that I was not going to be present for whatever happened next.
Mm-hmm.
And so I decided, I can't think of a better word other than to say that I decided to go somewhere else. And I could still hear myself screaming. And I was still fighting him. I could feel myself fighting him. I could hear myself, but it sounded like I was a million miles away. And then I remembered, I was just like, you know, he can take whatever he wants from me, but he can't take like who I am. Like he can't access my memories and my joys and the love that I've experienced in my life. I mean, I was a teenager, I was 19 years old, but like he can't take that away. He'll whatever this is going to be really gnarly, but he can't take all the good things away, you know? And then I shut off. And I do not to this day remember anything past that point, other than when I came to and the police were in my apartment and everybody was there. I don't know at what point he left. I don't know how I got out. I don't know anything. The reason why I have the luxury of knowing what his intentions were was a month later, he really did rape and kill a family. And he was high on meth, and he came to, and he told his coworker one day when they were driving home from work, I think I did a really bad thing. Did you hear about that thing that happened? And the coworker's like, yeah. And he's like, I think that I did that. And of course the coworker's petrified. He's driving this guy home. He doesn't want to, you know, so he's like, oh, is that so? Huh? You know, like he just wants to drop it. So he drops him off at home and then immediately calls the police. The police go there and the guy's trying to hang himself in his garage because he feels remorse now, or he doesn't want to get in trouble or whatever. So they like take him down, they take him in, they put him in solitary confinement. They, you know, talk to him and they say, we didn't even know he's a Palawan citizen. And they said, you know, we didn't even know you're supposed to be in jail in Guam. How are you here? And he said, yeah, you know, whatever, he escaped or whatever, got released or who knows what, I don't know, from Guam. And then the way Palau works at that point in time, I can't speak to now, was if a Palawan citizen comes into the country, you don't even have to show your passport. Like you can just, like I'm sure he had a piece of ID, and they just let him in, no questions asked, because he was a Palau national. And so there he was. And they said, well, when did you come? Like, when did you arrive in the country? And he said, last month. And he said, and shortly after I arrived, like, I think it was the next night, he said, I tried to rape and kill a girl over on XYZ Street. And that was me. But she fought me off, he said. So.
How horrifying.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry you had to go through that. And it's just, it's normal, that reaction to disappear and go somewhere is normal. I mean, all the research shows that that's your brain trying to preserve itself.
Yeah. Yeah, I in a way, like, I don't want to know what happened, and I guess I don't think anything did, because he didn't give any details to the police. But it's kind of a weird thing to have like a decent chunk just gone. You know what I mean? But anyway,
really brave for sharing your story, and we really appreciate you. I just want you to know that.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys too. I have really good coping mechanisms now. It's been a long time ago. I wouldn't say I don't struggle with it. Obviously I do, but I have like a healthy relationship with the memory in regards to how I can think about it. And I rarely cry anymore. Like this, I think this is the first time I've not cried when I told that story, which is interesting. Still have super bad sleep disturbances though, but you know. Anyway, wow, that was heavy for a Homestead chat, eh? Sorry, guys.
But I think you brought attention to something.
Arizona kids, like, what story did I come into?
Yeah, we're not going to repeat it.
Arizona kid, you'll have to watch it back. I was sharing of a traumatic experience when I was living overseas. Yeah. Crazy.
And drop family garden, I agree with you. There is nothing normal about people who do that.
Yeah.
To people. I was just saying that from a trauma perspective, it's pretty normal for your brain to shut off and protect itself. But no one ever go through that, ever.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, on a happier note, what else do I have to? I had a whole bunch of lists of things to update you guys on, and of course now I've forgotten it all. How are your guys' gardens doing?
Go ahead, Des.
Me? Yeah, well, it's winter here, so I've been having frosts every night, which has been fun. So I've been running out at night with plastic and sheets and covering passion fruit and but as I've said previously, it doesn't snow here. So it's just the frosts that I need to take care of, and it's no biggie. So yeah,
frost can do damage though. Frost is like gnarly sometimes.
Well, that's true, but I guess unlike snow, it comes and goes quickly. It doesn't sit around like snow. Like there I am talking about snow that I don't get as if I know what it's like having snow in the garden. But
what you would imagine snow is like in the garden,
Yeah. So yes, but yeah, everything's going okay here. Too many weeds. Winter weeds, man.
Are weeds particularly bad in the winter, or you're just saying?
But no, the weeds are bad here in the grass, mainly in the lawn. Unfortunately, the kangaroos eat the grass and not the weeds. If only the kangaroos like weeds. I know. Like, imagine if kangaroos, or say, what about like deer and stuff over there? Do they eat the weeds as well as grass?
Yeah. And my cows eat everything down too. Although where they poop, if you don't clean it up within a week or two and the grass grows up, they won't eat the ring around the poop. So you go through and you see all this like lush grass and they won't eat it.
Okay. Yeah, well, I don't know. After you.
Sorry, Des. The deer are everywhere here and they will eat everything. So everything we have is either behind a fence, covered up, or has something about it. And the only thing, that's why I plant those marigolds. I don't know if you saw them on Instagram, but I have those marigolds in the pot. And the only reason I use them is because the deer don't want to eat them.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? It's you think, how can a plant be a pest deterrent? But it's really fascinating when they are. I don't know if you saw that I planted sage by my lettuce. I found that out by fluke this year because I had the cats were eating my lettuce. I've told you guys this story. Hi, Adam. Adam's here. And I was like, why are they eating my lettuce? I didn't even know that cats eat lettuce. And I had some herbs I needed to plant. And I put the sage out kind of to get some nice sun in and of the lettuce. And I noticed that when I did that, the cats never ate the lettuce ever again. So I've planted sage now in and amongst my lettuce. And it's fine. Growing fully, no cat is eating it. So weird.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So weird.
Yeah, it was funny.
I was just reading the comments. We got a lot of people who are saying that they have weeds too. Stuff is dying. It's too hot. And then there's some stuff that's doing well. Yeah.
Arizona Kid said make him blue so he can do links.
Okay. How do I do that? I got to go on your phone. You said.
You got your phone?
Okay. Yeah, I got my phone. So I'm learning technology, you guys.
Click on Arizona Kid.
Okay, hold on a second.
Moderator option.
What's up, Adam? G'day, mate.
It wants me to enter the studio again, though. Or do I just go on through YouTube?
Go on through YouTube.
Go on through YouTube. Okay, I'm sorry, guys.
You're fine, Aaron. Trust me. 2 weeks ago, we did a live, and we were totally admitted to testing stuff out. So we're all human.
Through my YouTube studio.
G'day, mate.
Arizona Kid said YouTube.
It won't let me access my live on YouTube on my phone.
If you click on your live, it should give you your chat. Daz, people are asking, what are your temps like right now?
Yep, thanks. Oh, man. All right. Aaron can help me with the Fahrenheit Celsius thing here, I think.
Yes, hit me.
So nights lately have been around, I think, 30 Fahrenheit, which would be 0 Celsius.
Yeah, like -2.
Okay, yep. So we're getting down to, -2. And then during the day, we're looking at, on average, 12 to 15 degrees Celsius. I'm looking at
15
you,
degrees
Aaron.
Celsius would be like 60s.
Okay. So it's cool here. It gets chilly outside when the wind gets up, but it's not, as I said earlier, it doesn't snow and stuff like that. So.
Okay.
Sorry, I've got massive echo in my headphones in.
No, it's me. It's me.
You're going to go to your live on the YouTube app, not on the StreamYard app.